Okay, so let me do it again. E d dash n e dash and e dash d dash e dash d dash plus n plus n e dash or epsilon. Okay, so this is the grammar. First of e e, so we have a single element in first of e, that is only n, small n, and first of e dash. So first of e dash is the plus and epsilon, right? Then when it comes to follow of e by default dollar is in follow of e. Okay, since there is no follow, e dash is I mean follow of e dash is, there is nothing, no. Here if you observe the second rule, I mean the first rule, if e dash derives to epsilon, then follow of e dash is in follow of e. According to that rule, the third rule of follow computation, we can add the follow of e as the follow of e dash. So follow of e is dollar. That is the reason why we are getting dollar here. Now let us consider the construct the passing capital. So we have two input symbols, plus and n, and we need to consider this dollar as well as an input symbol. This is n by t terminal. For each terminal and non-terminal combination, we have two non-terminals, e and e dash. Okay, this is e dash. Now see, first we need to consider the first of e. For each symbol in the first of e, we have to add the entry corresponding to e with that symbol. Okay, the production rule which gives us that first symbol. Okay, so if you observe here n, this n comes from this rule. Okay, this n is added as a first of e because of this rule, Okay, so you have to add that rule in the entry corresponding to e with n e dash. Okay, right? So we are done with first of e. Next, consider first of e dash. Here you need to remember one thing. We need to add the rules corresponding to plus, but we cannot add the first rules for epsilon symbol. So whenever there is an epsilon in first of some non-terminal, we need to consider its follow sets. Okay, so first let me add the production rule corresponding to plus, e dash with plus. This is the rule that will give you that will give us this plus as the first of e dash. So e dash with plus, what do you have to do? You have to add that rule. E dash derives plus n e dash, e dash derives plus n e dash. Okay, now we have one more symbol, one more terminal, that is epsilon. Okay, so whenever there is an epsilon, what I have to do? We have to consider the follow sets. We have to consider the follow sets of e dash. In the follow set of e dash, we have dollar. Okay, for each and every symbol in the follow set of e dash, we have to add null production rules. Okay, so we have only one symbol, that is dollar. For E dash with dollar, we have to add E dash to epsilon. E dash to epsilon. Null production rule. Okay, that's simple. So this is our LL1 predictive passing table. Okay, all the unfilled entries. Okay, all the unfilled entries. This one, and this one are considered as syntax errors. That means whenever you have E on top of the stack and plus on plus as the current input symbol, there is no next move. There is no next move. Okay, let us consider a small input n plus n followed by dollar. Okay, let us take this into our input buffer. Let us take our stack. Initially stack is empty. Let us check whether this particular string is valid or not by this passing table. Okay, by using this LL1 predictive parser. Okay, initially we start with the starting symbol of the grammar on top of the stack. We push it onto the stack. Our read head initially points to the leftmost symbol on the input buffer. This is our input buffer. Okay, now E with n, that means E on top of the stack, and n is the current input symbol. Now what you have to do, you have to look into the, the parser will look into the passing table. This is the table. This is M, table M. There is an entry for E comma n. What is that entry? A production rule is there. Now you have to take the right hand side of that production rule and insert that in reverse order. So what is there in this production rule? E dash n e dash. On the right hand side we have n e dash. You have to insert that n e dash in a reverse order. Reverse order lo ela insert chestamandi, e dash emochi kindaku vellali, n paina undali. That is our intention. So insert e dash first, then n. Now the current top of the stack is n, and the current input symbol is also n. We have not advanced our input reader, input pointer. Okay, so whenever we expand, we generally don't update the input pointer, right? Whenever there is a match, then only we'll update the input pointer in such a way that it points to the next input symbol, right? Now we can see, now on top of the stack we have a terminal symbol n that exactly matches with the current input symbol. That means so far we have matched up to this. Okay, pop off this symbol from the stack, advance your read head, so that it points to the next input symbol. Advance your read head. Now on top of the stack, now we have E dash. Okay, after popping of this, we left with E dash, right? So E dash is the current top of the stack, and the current input symbol is this one, plus. E dash with plus. What is E dash? E dash with plus, the entry corresponding to this one is this one. There is a production rule, E dash derives plus n e dash, Now what you have to do? You have to insert the right hand side of that production rule in reverse order. Okay, so after inserting that in reverse order, you will get E dash. Anyway, it is going to be the bottom of the stack. So on top of it, we'll have n. On top of it, we'll be having plus. Now the current top of the stack is this one, plus. Now this plus, the current top of the stack, exactly matches with the current input symbol. Now what do you have to do? You have to pop off this symbol. And advance your read head so that it points to the next input symbol. Okay. After this step, the stack contains E dash. On top of it, we'll have n. Okay, we have popped off plus, so that means we have matched plus. Next, the current input is n. We left with n and dollar only. Okay, so we have done up to this. Now on top of the stack we have n, and the current input symbol is also n. So what do you have to do? We have to pop off this n, advance your read head so that it points to the next input symbol. What is the next input symbol? After this step, we left with E dash on top of the stack and dollar on the input buffer. Okay, your read pointer points to dollar. Now E dash with dollar. What is E dash with dollar? E dash with dollar, we have a null protection rule. That means E dash must be expanded with epsilon. Okay. So after completely processing the input string, we are left with epsilon string means null string. There is nothing in the stack. Okay, stack is empty now. So after completely processing the string, so we met with the dollar sign, the right hand marker of the input. That is an indication that we are done with the input. Okay. So once we're done with the input, if the stack is empty, then we can say it is a valid string. It is a valid string. Okay. I hope you get the point. I hope you understand. If you have any doubt, you can ask now. Let me take one another this one. Let me take one more string and let us try to parse it. Okay. Say yeah, let me take this n plus plus followed by dollar. Sorry, n plus plus followed by dollar. Okay. If this is your input string, this should be rejected. This should be rejected. This should not be passed by the parser. Why? Because this is not a valid input string. According to the grammar, it will produce the rules in the form of n plus n. I mean the strings in the form of n plus n, n plus n plus n plus n, like that. Those kind of strings we'll get, but we'll never generate n plus plus n or n plus 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 or something like that. Okay. By looking at this string, we can easily say this is not a valid string, but let us check whether our parser will recognize it or not, right? So initially we start with the starting symbol of the grammar, that is E on top of the stack. Then the current input symbol is N. E with N, we have a protection rule. So what I have to do? We have to insert E dash, N E dash on top of the stack. Okay. So this is not there. Right. Now this N, pop of this N and advance your read head so that it points to plus. E dash with plus. So we have a rule. E dash with plus, we have the corresponding rule is this one. E dash N, on top of it we have to insert plus. Now we have plus on top of the stack. Okay. Plus on top of the stack, and the current input symbol is also plus. These two gets cancelled. Now your top is exposed with, I mean on top of the stack we have N and the current input symbol is plus. Now look at the situation. On top of the stack we have a terminal symbol N and the current input symbol is this one. Current input is plus. And there is no entry for N with plus. N with plus. Okay, in the parsing table. Okay, that is an indication that we cannot move further. We cannot move further. Then the parser will immediately, it will announce there is a syntax error. At this point of parsing, there is a syntax error. Okay, so this is how it will recognize. As in when something wrong happens on top of the stack while doing the parsing routine, it will simply announce, okay, the parsing error or the syntax error, right? Let me clear all this. Okay, any doubts so far? Are you able to follow this? Hello, everyone. Okay, let me give you a small grammar again. So let me give this. S derives open brace followed by closing brace, and S derives epsilon. Okay, there are two production rules. This is the first production rule, and this is the second production rule. Okay, all of you please compute the first and follow sets, and please work out the first and follow sets, and tell me the entries corresponding to the passing table entries. Construct a passing table for this. Write your answers in the chat box. Compute the first of S. What is first of S? First of S, the given grammar. First of S is now let us consider this grammar. So as I told you earlier, let us consider this. This is the grammar corresponding to the dangling else problem, right? So if you are trying to construct the predictive passing table, LL1 predictive passing table for this grammar, you may get something like this. There are three non-terminals S and S dash and E, and these are the terminal symbols in the grammar. And some entries, the entries corresponding to S dash with E, we have two production rules, S dash with epsilon, S dash with ES. Okay, so such grammars are said to be, if there are two production rules, as you can see here, the entry corresponding to S dash with E. So whenever S dash on top of the stack and the current input symbol is E, okay, we don't know whether we have to apply the epsilon or ES, whether we have to expand this with epsilon or apply with ES. Okay, so this type of grammars are said to be non-LL1 grammars, LL1 grammars. Okay, this is a classical example for non-LL1 grammar. Your dangling else problem is a non-LL1 grammar. That means it cannot be parsed by using LL1 parser, or in that matter, any top-down parser, right? Now, that is the reason why we'll go for the sophisticated parsers like these bottom-up parsers. Okay, as I told you earlier, this is the schematic of predictive parsing. So in the predictive parsing, we will be having four components, input buffer to hold the input. Okay, and there is a predictive passing program called driver routine, the driver program we can say, and there is a passing table, and there is a passing stack. There are four components: stack, input buffer, passing program, and passing table. The predictive passing program will consider the current stack symbol and the current input, and it will look into the passing table entry. Based on the passing table entry, it will go further. Okay, right? So as I told you earlier, passing table is the key thing. Okay, without passing table, it won't do any. I mean, it is useless, right? Next. So this is the predictive passing algorithm. Set IP point to the first symbol of W. What is W here? Input. set X to the top of the stack symbol. Now we are comparing X, the current top of the stack symbol, with the dollar. If it is equal to, if it is not equal to symbol, double less than greater than, this is not equal to dollar, that is an indication that stack is not empty. If that is the case, we'll enter into the loop. In the loop, what we are doing, if X is a, pop the stack and advance input. Else if X is a terminal, call the error. Else if there is an entry corresponding to X comma A is an error entry, call the error routine. Else if X comma A there is a production rule, then apply that production rule. Output the production X, Y1, Y2, Yk in the reverse order. Okay, pop the stack, push Yk. See here, we are pushing Yk first, then Y2, so on up to Yn in the reverse order. Set X to the top stack symbol. After popping the current top of the stack, then we have to set X, the next immediate symbol on top of the stack, as the new top of the stack symbol. Okay. So this is an example. So you can see here E with close parenthesis, So is there an entry? E with close parenthesis, there is an entry called syntax error. Okay, syntax error. Error, skip close parenthesis. So we are running short of time. We have to, relog in again. After relogin, we'll see the bottom of passing. So if you have any doubt up to now, you can ask.